I don't know. Yeah, come on. Mess them up. Oh yeah.
All right. Welcome, everybody. Come on, get yourselves around. Good round of applause.
Ready?
Turn to your neighbors, and share 3 beautiful hugs.
No. Share a hug with your sister.
She's evil.
Sure.
Right here. Don't scratch me again.
Shh.
All right. Welcome, everybody, to our September Chicago Power Team. Thank you all for being here. Love seeing all of your faces. Wonderful. It warms me inside to see that you all came out to see us. And our amazing speaker. A couple of announcements I'd like to share with you first. So a couple of announcements. First, my name is Robert Swiderski, Bobby. You know, we're all friends here. Feel free to call me by the name my family loves to call me by, Bobby. And the other organization that I help to organize is called the Basket Brigade. There's a few basket brigades in Chicago land. There's the Chicago Basket Brigade. I specifically work and assist with the Suburban Basket Brigade. And first, for those of you who may not be familiar, let me get a feel for who is familiar with the Basket Brigade. Who here has been to a Tony Robbins UPW event? You're going to raise your hands, and who hasn't? So, okay, so a few people. The Basket Brigade really was started by Tony Robbins. Back when he was a little tyke, his family was considered a family in need, and they needed a little bit of assistance. So someone graciously came to their door and with a big box of food and offered and offered his family this food during the Thanksgiving Day holiday. And that touched Tony Robbins so much that he decided to pass it on himself. To the point that he started when he was around 20 years old. He started bringing baskets of food to families that were in need in his area. And since then, some 30, 40 years later, the Basket Brigade is now feeding millions of families around the Thanksgiving time. And specifically, the Suburban Basket Brigade, which is an organization that I'm a part of, last year we were able to assist 763 families. This year, we have doubled our goal to 1,500 families. Isn't that amazing?
That's awesome.
Yeah. And so not only is it incredible the amount of families that we're assisting, but also the amount of people that come out and are part of what we do, right? Because this doesn't just happen by snapping our fingers, right? This happens by working throughout the entire year to plan and organize this one day that we really do all of this. In order to feed 1,500 families, we need to raise about $45,000, right? Because Thanksgiving Day, these families are going to be able to cook an entire Thanksgiving meal for 5 people in their family. The turkey, the stuffing, the dressing, the yams, the fruits, the vegetables, the gravy, everything that we all who may not need help right now might take for granted, right? Thanksgiving time, we get this big piece of food, at least in my house, my parents' house that we go to, an amazing feast, but we forget that there are thousands of people, right? Thousands of people in our area alone that don't have that convenience, that don't have that ability to enjoy Thanksgiving that way, right? And it's not to say that food is everything, but when you are in need, and I speak this from my own personal experience, when you're in need, the little bit of food makes a huge difference. That's why I'm so passionate about the Basket Brigade. Some 10 years ago, I was one of those individuals who received some bags of food from someone who really cared about me. And it made a magnificent difference in my life. So this event, if you're able to assist and your heart is maybe tugging on you to want to help out, there's a way to do that. You can assist by either donating directly to our cause. For each $30 that is donated, you're able to help us to feed one family. You can volunteer. You can be a part of our actual organizing of our event. We meet on a monthly basis. If you've got some great ideas, if you've got ways to help raise funds, corporate donations are really awesome to get because they usually amount in the thousands of dollars. We have benefits that happen throughout the year. We just so happen to have a benefit concert coming up this Saturday, September 22nd. I've got some flyers in the back. It's going to be in Bartlett at a place called Bannerman's in Bartlett, Illinois. And we're going to have some bands there. We're going to have a super fun time. We're going to have raffles and auctions, and I can tell you from personal experience, the chicken wings there are the best in Chicago. If you're a chicken wing fan, they're fantastic. That being said, come on out and join us. It'd be great to see you guys. So that's that. One of the other ways that we raise money is through raffles. We've got a raffle that's going to be announced Saturday night. This raffle is for a pair of Bears vs. Packers tickets. They are amazing tickets, number one. There's 2 tickets, Bears vs. Packers, but also in addition to the tickets, to, in addition to the 2 tickets, who would love to have a, what do they call it before the game, when you get to hang out, barbecue, tailgate? Who would love to tailgate with a former Chicago Bear?
Maybe the Packers.
Wouldn't have to be like, so Desmond Clark, anybody who knows who Desmond Clark is? He has offered to open up his tailgating party to the winners of these tickets. And from
That's
what
awesome.
I'm told, he tailgates rock star style. I mean, like he was saying, it's steaks, it's lobster, and it's just, you have a super fun time, right? I mean, so I'm not a big football fan or sports guy, but I love going to a game, right? And I would love to be able to tailgate with this guy, Desmond Clark. I mean, how cool would that be, right? A couple hours of just hanging out with a former Chicago Bear, eating steak and lobster, right? That sounds good to me. Anyway, this round is 1 entry, right, to win the 2 tickets and the tailgating. It's only $20. Right? And remember, it's going to support, yes.
Can you get it online too?
Yes, you can get it online. Yep.
Place orders online?
Yes. Great question. Thank you so much. You can go to basketbrigade.net and get them online. Remember, it's this Saturday, so you got a couple days left. 1 entry is 20, 3 entries are 40, 10 entries for 100. And again, it's going 3 entries, $100. You're going to help us to feed 3 families that are in need. And if you've ever had the opportunity, who's been at the Basket Brigade with us? Who has gone on the day of putting the baskets together with the food? So, oh my gosh. It's one thing to put the baskets together. It's another thing to deliver the baskets, and you've got this big box of food. You knock on the door, right? You know what I'm talking about. So you knock on the door, and it's usually kids who open the door first, right? And then they say, "Mommy, mommy, mommy, someone's here. He's got a big box. She's got a big box." And the mom comes, or the dad comes to the door, and they see that you've got food because you're also carrying a turkey. They know what it's for, and you say. You bring the box, you give them the box, say, "This is from a friend who cares. This is from a friend who wants you to have a nice Thanksgiving." It is a moving experience, let me tell you. I want all of you to have that opportunity to experience that. It's really life-changing. I mean, it still affects me, right, to today. And I love doing it because it makes such an amazing difference in their lives. So come on and help out, okay? We'd love to see you guys there. The putting together the baskets is going to be on the Saturday before Thanksgiving. So I think it's November 17th. Yes, November 17th, and that's going to take place in Hoffman Estates, at Hoffman Estates High School. We've grown so much that we need an entire gymnasium to fit all of the food and all of the volunteers. So check us out online, basketbrigade.net. There's flyers in the back. If you don't see one, let me know. If you want to get a ticket tonight, let me know. We can take care of that. Although for that, it's got to be cash tonight. Otherwise, you can do the credit card online. That being said, any questions about the Basket Brigade?
Do you guys still have it on Facebook, right? That we can share?
Yes, we do. Go to our Basket Brigade of Suburban Chicago Facebook page, and you'll see the video with Desmond Clark sharing about the Basket Brigade and the tailgate. All right, it's super cool, right, to have a celebrity promoting us. So we love that.
How do you find the families?
So we find the families through local communities, through schools that have lists, hundreds and even thousands of families.
So the families sign up, or someone directs you to them?
They will actually direct us to they will provide a list of families within their communities that have been recognized or have acknowledged that they're a family in need. And it's not specifically a family in need for the Basket Brigade, it's just, in general, right? With kids that are in school, they will, the families are recognized or acknowledged as families that need additional assistance, right? And so the counselors, the school counselors, the municipality government authorities, right? They have these lists of families that just could use some help. So, and we at this time, we don't even have enough to help as many families that are out there. It's simply incredible how many families could use some help. So, that being said, we are so very fortunate, so very blessed, so humbled by our speaker, the gentleman who is going to be sharing his story, going to be sharing his wisdom and his heart, most of all, with all of us. Mr. Sean Douglas is a current veteran. You're actually
Air Force.
Air Force, right? Veteran. Enlisted?
Enlisted, yep.
Enlisted veteran. Someone who has and does serve our country. An amazing human being. Someone who is passionate about his well-being, his family's well-being, all of our well-beings. Passionate about personal and business development. And what I love about Sean is that he is living what he is teaching. He is always online sharing his nuggets of gold, always promoting how to better yourself. And in this particular forum, he's going to be sharing specifically on hacking your brain, right? How to hack your brain for success. So again, I love this guy. I love the fact that he came all the way out here from the Carolinas, right? After what just happened out there, right? We're lucky to have him and his family out here because they literally just made it out. There was flooding all over, and they were able, in a moment, to be able to just get out. So not only is he blessing us here, he was a speaker, not a keynote speaker at the WE Symposium, an MC at a magnificent symposium earlier today, where he came right from there, he came right here, and all I can say is thank you. Thank you for being here, and thank you, family, for also being here. Because we recognize that it's not just Sean, that you guys are a magnificent part of what makes this a success, right? You are, as I would suggest, my wife is the foundation and supports what I do. And so I want to recognize you guys for being here. So let's recognize the Douglas family. Without any further ado, Mr. Sean Douglas. Let's give a round of applause.
Thank you so much. And that's all I have for you today. So thank you so much for having me. He's such an amazing guy. We've become friends over the past year, so anytime I can come back and talk to the group is an absolute blessing. So what I want to do right quick, I want to get to know more about you. So we're going to start over on this side. I want to know who you are, what you do, and an interesting fact that nobody knows about you. So we'll start right here. So who you are, what you do, and an interesting fact. So we'll start right here.
Hi everyone, my name is Monica, and I'm stay-at-home mom. I have 2 kids, and I don't know something that I was doing.
Did like a hidden talent or something?
I don't think so. I don't know. I will think about it.
Okay.
Okay?
Have you been to, so your accent's kind of unique.
Yes, I'm from Poland.
She's from Poland. There's an interesting fact. She's from Poland.
Yeah.
Woo!
My mom's side of the family is Polish.
Awesome.
So their last name doesn't look like how it's spelled. It's amazing. So go ahead.
Oh, my name is Magda, I'm Polish too. So I'm a esthetician, I have my own business.
You have your own business?
Yes.
Outstanding.
Well, I would like growing up with my business and my life.
Perfect. Awesome. Thank you. Yes.
I'm Ken, and I'm in IT infrastructure. Interesting fact, people used to call me Hammer because I used to dance like MC Hammer.
Wow, that's awesome.
Dude, how cool is this exercise? He's like, people used to call me Hammer because I used to dance like MC Hammer.
Now we just need to see
Hey,
that.
used to, still does.
Right, still does, apparently.
Wait, why weren't you on stage with me?
Now
I will remember this.
Oh, he's right?
Mr. MC Hammer.
Draws out, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Hi, I'm Sia. I'm a waitress and I'm building up a coaching practice. And an interesting fact is that I have
Used to call you Quesadilla. Outstanding. Outstanding. Yes.
My name is Hallie. I work for this lovely woman here at a juice bar, vegan cafe. Interesting fact, a lot of people don't know I know how to skateboard. I can skateboard.
Nice.
Wow. Awesome. Yes.
Paulina. I run a vegan cafe and a juice bar, and she's not far from here. Interesting fact about me, I love salsa.
Love sauce.
Yeah.
Outstanding.
My name is Alina Herman. I run our own business, real estate brokerage, but I have background in IT, so I don't really sell real estate. I just do techie stuff. I used to be in IT security and built large, high availability data centers for over 10 years, but I don't do that anymore. An interesting fact about me, when I was in my teenage years, 15, 14, I was in mime theater for over 5 years, and I traveled to Czech Republic, Japan, Germany, with the mime theater. So. I know.
Wow.
I love this idea.
Right. That's awesome. Yep.
My name's Amit, not nearly as cool. Also an IT guy, so I'm an IT guy. I own a business with retail shops, and actually one under construction right here in Elko Village, so coming here soon. I got into Robbins 20 years ago, and I checked out Chicago Power Team because of it. I got over the UPW and Business Mastery events recently.
Very cool. So interesting fact is.
Yeah, was the interesting fact.
Perfect.
Yay!
Awesome.
Hi, my name is Agnes Rafika. I'm a child psychologist. I'm a mom of 3 kids, 7 years young. Interesting things I don't know what to come up with, to be honest.
As a child psychologist, you have to have some kind of a interesting fact, or like a shocking statistic.
Oh gosh, you put me on the spot right here.
How long have you been doing child psychology?
18 years.
18 years.
Yes.
Wow. There you go. I saved you. You want to play? Okay, go ahead. So what do you do? Play soccer? Awesome.
Making so much noise.
See, I love the kids' answers. Like, I can twist my arm all the way around. Like, I want to see that. You want to show me?
Oh, yeah.
Like, it's complete. Wow. You practice that, don't you?
Yeah.
Awesome. Yes.
Hi, I'm Susan. An interesting fun fact. Let's see. Even though I don't look it, I speak Spanish fluently.
Awesome. And what do you do?
Oh, I'm in marketing.
Marketing. Yeah. Outstanding. My wife's gonna play.
Okay. Hi, I'm Candy Douglas, Sean Douglas's wife. I'm a stay-at-home wife of 4, and don't know. What's my interesting fact?
You have a bunch.
You like to do your nails?
No.
You have a bunch.
I don't know. Well,
I know what's interesting.
that's our miracle baby.
I was gonna say, that's our miracle baby.
I had to get 5 intrauterine transfusions pregnant while I was pregnant with her. I almost
Intrauterine blood transfusion.
almost lost her 3 times. Once when I was delivering, twice when I was pregnant. Because the umbilical cord was wrapped around her neck. Gavin,
Gavin,
your turn.
your turn.
Hi, I'm Gavin.
He's a stay-at-home student.
Yeah, I'm homeschooled, and I like to play basketball. Interesting fact. If you give me a rubber band, I'll never be bored.
This is true. This is true. She's not gonna play? Not gonna play? Okay.
Play. Come on, Anastasia.
Wait,
you get to play.
Okay, so my name is Robert Swiderski, and I work as a project manager for a telecommunications company, and then I'm also a life and business coach. An interesting fact about me is that I used to compete as a mixed martial artist.
Very cool. Outstanding.
Don't mess with you.
Right?
I'm a lover.
The reason I love doing this exercise is because I was in a big event and I picked out a couple people and I was like, well, give me an interesting fact about you. Give me. And so the lady up front was like, well, I've always wanted to salsa. I just never have. And the lady set up in the back and she goes, I teach salsa. And I was like, where are you from? Where are you from? Turns out, in an event not in their home state, they are 20 minutes away from each other.
Whoa.
Never met. Ever since that day, I always do this exercise just to see. Like, just to see. But you never, like IT, I see some IT
Go
stuff,
sit down.
IT, right? So we have all these common bonds.
Yeah.
And the one thing that brings it all together is our passion. And sometimes our passion is locked away. We need to hack into our brains in order to bring it out. So that's what I'm going to talk to you about today. I'm going to talk to you about how to hack your brain for success. So first question I have for you, by a show of hands, who knows what success looks like? You can define it, you can taste it, you can smell it, you know exactly what success is for you in your life. Raise your hand. Okay? Okay, put them down. By a show of hands, who's ever written down their success path?
Get off of her.
Who's ever written it down? You kind of like, I know the steps. I kind of like, I'm going to budget it. I'm going to look for it. No? Okay? Perfect. Who's not going to raise their hand no matter what I say? She's all like, right here. Yeah. There's always a couple, but I got you to raise your hand. Awesome. So, I hacked your brain right now. See how I did that? I hacked your brain. She didn't even know it. It's like, who's not going to raise their hand? Oh, crap. So hacking your brain for success is part of knowing what success looks like. First, you get into your car and you're going to take a road trip. You don't say, okay, GPS, just leave me. And you don't do it on faith. You actually type in your destination. How many times have you not typed in a destination in life and then got lost? How many times have you set onto a path and said, I'm going to do this one thing. I'm going to do this one incredible thing. I'm not sure how I'm going to get there, but I'm going to make it happen. And then you kind of floundered and got lost. And then somebody had to come and like, no, do it this way. Maybe you're training somebody in the IT world. Maybe you're training somebody for real estate. Maybe you're training somebody for the job, a business coach. They need you because you have something that they don't, and they're floundering and they're struggling. So the number one rule of success is to schedule everything. Schedule everything. Everything you do is scheduled. You have to have a destination to know where you're going. If you don't have a destination of what success looks like for you, how will you ever know if you'll reach it? How will you know? You have to define what success looks like. Is it earning $100K a year? Is it earning $1 million a year? Is it making sure that the kids that you have in your house are going to go to college or start a business or they're getting straight into school? Like every single thing in your life needs to be scheduled. Every single thing in your life needs to be defined. And so we look at what's in our brains. You have to know what's in your brain. Have to. So let's check this out. Marge and Homer Simpson. You can see that their brains are completely different. This is not joking. Marge has the grocery aisle memorized, while Homer has sleep and donuts and everything else on his brain. But you can see the difference in the brains. You must first know what is in your brain in order to achieve success. You must first know what is inside, because you cannot fix what's going on around you until you fix what's going on inside you. I say that again. You cannot fix what's going on around you until you fix what's going on inside you. Sometimes there's things that need to be done. There's a mental blockage. There's a money blockage. There's a business blockage. We're not smart enough. We're not good enough. These are the stories that we tell ourselves. Oh, I'll never achieve that because I don't know. I don't know if I can do that. I'm not that smart. Or I'm not that good. Or I'm not. And we talk ourselves out of a dream. Who's ever talked yourself out of a dream? Who's ever talked yourself out of doing something amazing? Maybe it was a trip. Maybe it was a cruise. Maybe it was that one time that, man, I really wish I would have done that. And we talk ourselves out of it. So instead of talking ourselves out of it, we say yes. And we figure it out. Everybody say yes with me nice and loud. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Yes! Yes! You say yes. And you figure it out. You want to start a coaching business. Do it. Say yes and figure it out. You just figure it out. Because if you ask yourself better questions, you get better results. Instead of saying, I can't do that, you say, how can I do that? You say, I can't afford that, you say, how can I afford that? You say, I don't know what to do, you say, what can I do? You ask yourself better questions, you will get better results. So I have some questions for you, and I really want you to think about these. Everybody in this room goes grocery shopping. Everybody in this room has shopped for something. But how? You can tell a lot by a person by how they shop. So who buys things on cost? No matter what the brand is, you buy things on cost. No matter if it's peanut butter, soda, doesn't matter if it's meats, cheese, whatever it is, you are there to grocery shop, but it must have coupons and it must be on sale. Who buys things on cost? Sometimes, okay. Who buys things on familiarity? I just know that this brand of chicken or this brand of peanut butter or this brand of whatever it is, this tastes the best. So that's all I get.
Because you're cooking.
I get these type of foods because this is what I know my family eats. It's familiar to us. Okay? Some of you, outstanding. What about taste? Has to taste the best. I'm not going for the smaller brands. This piece of fish right here, this brand is the best. Right? Or maybe you buy things according to allergies. Like I have a tomato allergy. See, the weird thing is that I have a tomato allergy. I can't eat fresh tomatoes. However, I can eat spaghetti in small amounts. Or pizza in small amounts. Because the manufacturing process and the chemical makeup gets changed during the manufacturing process of spaghetti and marinara sauce, whatever. It's super weird. According to the doctors, I'm allergic to the acid that is in the tomato that is then cooked out and boiled out and distributed, whatever, throughout the sauce. Super weird, right? My daughter has a peanut allergy, so we can't buy things that have nuts in them. So we buy things according to allergies. What about fashions? What's the biggest fashion in food right now? What's the fad that everybody is on right now? Do you know?
Low carb.
Low carb?
Gluten-free.
Gluten-free? Another one? What about the keto diet?
Keto, yeah.
Everybody's on the keto diet right now, right? What everything is low carb. The Atkins diet, right? The paleo diet, like all of them seem to be right around the realm of like low carb. Maybe one's like super high in this, but it's low in this, but they all have the fad surrounding them. So they say that when you go to the grocery store, if you shop on the outside of the aisles, it seems to be the healthiest or the cheapest, or depending on how the grocery store is set up. But if you go into the middle of the store, that's where all the organic stuff is. The no GMO, MSG, gluten-free, like all that stuff that is really popular right now is all smack, like seems to be like right in the middle. Again, depending on how the grocery store is set up. Where we are, that's exactly how it's set up. Everything, and I notice, I'm like, everything on the outside is either on the end cap, it's the cheapest, it's on sale, but it seems to be unhealthy. But then everything is right smack in the middle of the store that everything is healthy. So based on how you shop, it can even be groceries. It can be, I'm going to buy whatever, clothes, a belt, a car, whatever it is. Do you buy things on cost? Nope. Do you buy things that you're familiar with? My family only buys Fords because my grandfather retired from Fords. So not only do they get a discount, cost, but they've bought it for 20 years. Familiarity. They buy things on familiarity. And I bet if you looked at the things that you buy on a daily basis, these things are in there. Cost, familiarity, all of these. So it shapes our decisions, these thoughts, feelings, and beliefs that we have about ourselves, and the thoughts, feelings, and beliefs that we have about the world. Based on a thought, belief, or feeling that you have about yourself or about the world. And I'll prove it. Who says should all the time? Who says should? Like children should be seen and not heard. Or people should wear their seatbelt. Or people should not text and drive. Or people should be treated like the way that they want to be treated. Or they should, or you should, or people should. You ever hear that come out of their mouth? Lots of times, right? You should do this, should do this. What happens is you're putting your thoughts, your beliefs, and your feelings into the conversation. And you probably never knew that you were doing it. Think about every conversation that you've had today, yesterday, the day before, and think about the words that you used, or the reason why you said something. And you'll start to see the pattern. I believe, or I think, or they should. And when you get mad, it's usually, well, they should have done this. Well, I cannot believe that they did that. Because thoughts, feelings, and beliefs drive all reactions and all decisions. And we get hung up. We plant our mailbox on our hurt, on our pain, on our past adversities. We plant our mailbox and say, I'm staying right here and this is where I'm living. And sometimes we can't move on. Anyone have a friend that wronged them, stabbed them in the back, somebody hurt them in a relationship? Anybody have one of those? Everybody's had perfect relationships, right? Anybody have a bad relationship? Raise your hand. Anybody have a friend stabbed in the back or somebody hurt them? Yeah, you are a lucky person. You've never had any of those. Awesome. That's awesome. Think about that for a second. And here's what happens. We get stuck. There's a study that was done called the white bear phenomenon. They used everything. Furniture, cars, outside trees, sky, whatever. And it only seemed to fit with the white bear. So here's what they found out. They did a study and they said, I want you to look at this white bear. Don't take your eyes off of this bear. So right now, everybody look at this white bear. Study it. Look at it. Look at everything about it. Okay? Look at everything about it. The black nose, the black eyes, the baby bear underneath the mom bear. Look at this bear. Don't take your eyes off of it. Study it. Look at the fur. Look at the feet. Everything about it. Now, I want you to close your eyes. Close your eyes right now and don't think about the white bear that you just saw on the screen. Don't think about it. Whatever you do for the next 30 seconds, do not think about the white bear. No Santa Claus bears, Coca-Cola bears, no white polar bears, no nothing. Don't think about it. Whatever you do not think about the white bear. The one that was just on the screen with the baby underneath its body. Don't think about baby polar bears. Don't think about white polar bears. Don't think about any bears. No white bears. I know you're thinking about it. I can feel it. Don't think about the white bear, whatever you do. Open your eyes. Raise your hand if you thought about a white bear.
You kept talking about it.
Okay. How many times in your life have you said, you know what? That made me so mad, I'm not even going to think about it. I'm not going to think about it. I'm not going to think about it. This happened, I'm not even thinking about it. Somebody passed away. Somebody wronged us. An adversity happens, you say, I'm not going to think about it. I'm not going to think about it. I'm just, you know what? I'm not even going to think about it. And you keep putting energy towards that one thought. Because where focus goes, energy flows. So if you're focusing on the wrong things, that's where the energy is going to go. If you're focusing on the hurt, if you're focusing on the pain, if you're focusing on that one adversity, you're never going to get past it. So the science behind this says the way forward is acceptance. I accept who I am. I accept the way that I'm thinking. I accept those thoughts, feelings, and beliefs that I'm currently having. Because if I don't, I'm going to be stuck in those thoughts, feelings, and beliefs. And we see it everywhere we go. The divisive line with people kneeling during the national anthem. We see the divisive line in politics for the presidential race. We see the divisive line everywhere. Because people are not willing to accept somebody else's beliefs and what they think is right for their life. Because we see it all the time. And we see it everywhere. All over social media, somebody posts, well, I don't think that's right, and I don't think, and they're putting their thoughts, feelings, and beliefs forward. Instead of saying, you know what, I accept that you believe that way, and leaving it at that. How many times would you not get into an argument with somebody, especially like on social media, which is a really weird place to get in an argument? But how many times would you not get in an argument by saying, oh wow, you believe that? Cool. Because the argument's directed, oh no, you did it, and then you start typing away, right? Or we see people do it all the time. We see people do it. You see that, well, that's dumb, and you're dumb, and now the name calling, and it just escalates, right? And then they're like, you're so mean, like, why are you being like that? Because they have strong feelings and beliefs about this particular topic. They want you to know it. Instead of saying, okay, I accept what's happening, and then taking the steps to move forward. So the science behind it is the white bear, we get stuck. We get stuck in this thinking about how we can't move forward because of this one thing. If I just do this one thing, I'll be able to move forward. But that's false, and it's unintelligent thinking. The way forward is, okay, I accept the way that I'm feeling. I'm not feeling like I'm enough today. I accept the fact that I'm not this one place, 100K, 200K, $1 million business. I accept the fact that I'm not there, but I'm taking the steps forward, because once you accept those thoughts, feelings, and beliefs that you're having, especially when they're negative, you can then move forward. They also did a study called the London Cab Driver Study. They took about 70 cab drivers and they MRI'd their brains. Now, this is absolutely fascinating. They MRI'd their brains before they started the course. And what happens is, they MRI'd their brains month after month, and they wanted to see what would happen. So half of the people, about 36 of the 70, had strategies and implementation systems in place. They were in place. I'm going to memorize these roads. They had to take a test at the end of their study. It's about a 2-year study. So they took a test. It's called the Knowledge of London Examination System. It can take up to 12 times to pass this test, because the London cab drivers cannot use a GPS to learn to navigate the roads. They have to do it all on their own. So what they did was they had systems and strategies in place in order to memorize exactly what they were doing. And those that did not failed over and over and over again. And the MRI showed that those with systems and strategies in place grew their brain's nervous structure. The hippocampus in your brain is responsible for spatial navigation and decision making. And by them having systems and strategies in place, changed their brain's nervous structure. Changed it to where they were smarter, faster, quicker in what they were doing. So what I'm saying to you, if you did not raise your hand and you did not know what success looks like, now is the time. Now is the time to, number one, define exactly what success looks like. Is it building that coaching business to 100K, 50K, 25K? Since you're starting, where's the starting point? Or where's the end point? Are you only doing this for a year, 2 years, 3 years? For real estate, do you have a set number of doors that you're going to invest in, or purchase, or sell? In the IT, do you have a certain level that maybe if you're working for somebody, your boss said we need to do this many, and this many, and this many, and if you don't meet that quota, what happens? You see, sometimes when we have a job, we're at the mercy of the boss who will discipline us if we fail. But in life, who's holding us accountable if we fail? What's the repercussions if we don't meet that level of success?
Because you have to know what the destination is before you can get there. Because once you know the destination, you reverse engineer backwards and you will learn what those steps are. And that's what they did with the London cab driver study. They actually showed on the MRI over time that their hippocampus in their brain was actually growing. They rewired their entire brain's nervous structure to be successful.
Could
they
you
couldn't
please?
fail.
Thank
Because
you.
of the systems and strategies that they had in place. They then took the other ones and they said, yeah, I don't have systems or strategies, I'm just winging it. No growth. Zero growth. Their brain was exactly the same month after month after month over the course of 2 years. Their brain was exactly the same. They then took out lawyers, cops, doctors, everybody off the street. Come and let me MRI your brain. And they showed not only do the London cab drivers that have systems and strategies in place are growing, but those in their field, in their job, who have systems and strategies in place, they're also growing. So it's not just London cab drivers. So the moral of that science is that if you don't have a system, if you don't have a strategy, if you don't have a destination, if you're not using your internal GPS, you will fail every time, and you will not grow. I don't know about you, but I don't like those odds. So I have systems, I have strategies in place, and I wrote down exactly what success looks like for me. So what I want you to do, I want you to write down exactly what success looks like. I want you to frame it. I want you to define it. Because that is what you will work towards in the next 12 months. A year from now, where will your life be? Where will your life be? So before you go to bed tonight, here's what I want you to do. I want you to write yourself a 1-year letter. Write yourself a 1-year letter. Date it today, 2019. And I want you to write yourself a letter. In a year, I will be doing this. What car are you driving? What house are you living in? What job do you have? What money are you making? Write everything down. This is what I value the most. This is the money that I'm making. This is what my kids are doing. This is what I'm doing. This is what the world around me looks like. Leave nothing to chance. Because when you do that, when you speak it into existence, the law of attraction starts to happen. And when you speak it into existence and you start taking steps to make it happen, you cannot fail. Because you are applying the systems and strategies needed to make that happen. Because no matter what, you will find a way to make it happen. There's 2 things in life you can't get mad at. Things you can change and things you can't change. If you can change it, change it. If you can't change it, accept it. Because the science proves that if you don't accept it, you will stay here until you do. And you cannot move forward until you accept what you cannot change. There's also 2 things in life that people will unwillingly give up. Time and money. Time and money are 2 things that people are unrelenting on. Time and money are 2 things that people will willingly never give up. So I have another exercise for you. What I want you to do is I want you to go back into your bank account and go back into your calendar. And I want you to write down exactly what you spent time and money on. Just like you write a budget for your monthly budget for your money, I want you to write a monthly budget for your time. And you'll find out that you're wasting a lot of time on things that just don't matter. When you take a step back and look at your life and you're trying to get to that place of success, you'll find out that you're taking a lot of detours. Your GPS will get you to your destination if you let it. Otherwise, what does it say? What does your GPS say if you keep on taking the wrong turns?
Recalculating.
Thank you. It says recalculating, rerouting, 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 rerouting. My message for you today is to be relentless in pursuit of what sets your soul on fire. Be relentless. If something doesn't happen, recalculate. If something doesn't happen, reroute. If something doesn't happen, reroute. Reroute, recalculate, and recalculate as many times as it takes for you to achieve the level of success that not only you want, but you deserve. Because everybody was created for a purpose. Everybody was created for success. Nobody deserves or wants to live in a place of poverty or a place of failure. The human body will run away from problems. And I got one more research study for you. In 1991, they built the Biodome. It's not just a movie, it really happened. Everybody seen Biodome with Pauly Shore, right? What an amazing movie that is. They literally built a biodome. You can look it up. Biodome in Arizona. They built the perfect atmosphere. They built the perfect foundation. They grew big plants. They grew big, big redwood trees. And what they found out was that all of the animals and all of the plants eventually started dying. They couldn't figure out why. And so they used more fertilizer, and they used more fertilizer, and things started growing bigger and bigger and bigger, but they still could not figure out why it wouldn't thrive. They would grow, and then they would start to wither. They would get to a certain point, and they would start to wither. They actually went to these huge trees, and they'd actually push the trees over. They couldn't figure out why. And what it came down to was that there was no wind. Because there was no wind, there was no stress. Because there was no stress, there was no reason to actually grow. You grow to a certain level, and it would just die away. Right now, you might be running from a stressful situation. Right now, you might be in a stressful situation that you want to get out of. You know someone who is struggling and wading water and barely making it. But that's okay. It's okay to not be okay. That's good for coaches. It's okay to not be okay. Because here's the thing. There's two types of stress. Eustress and distress. Eustress is the positive things. Getting married, would that be a positive stress? Could be. Hopefully. It should be. So eustress is the positive things. A job promotion. Oh my gosh, this is amazing. More money. I'm so super excited. I'm anticipating growth. It's eustress. And then the distress are the things like getting into a car accident. A child getting hurt. You stressing about where your next client's going to come from. Where your next paycheck is going to come from. Job security. How am I going to pay for groceries? Is a hurricane going to come and take out my house? We're in North Carolina. Is the hurricane going to come take out my house? Is someone going to help us in time of need? That's distress. The stories that we tell ourselves that stress ourselves out. Distress. But it's all good because you can't run away from stress. This is what strengthens our core beliefs. This is what strengthens and rewires our brain's nervous system. Is having systems and strategies in place that not only accept stress and adversity, and not just to go through it, but to grow through it, to grow through the adversity, to grow through those stressful moments that inevitably you're going to face. And having a system and strategy in place is what's going to take you there. So as I close, which really doesn't mean anything, but gives you hope that I'm almost done, is that you have the power to say this is not how my story ends. You have the power to turn the page and write a new chapter. You have the power to lift that address, lift that mailbox off of all that pain and hurt and adversity and everything that you're facing right now, and to take one step forward. To take one step forward. And not plant it there, but to make sure that your system and strategy is good so that you can take another step forward. When you take a bunch of steps forward, transformation happens. And then it's your turn to reach back to somebody who is struggling, reach back to someone who is not making it, and give them the strategy, whether they pay for it or not, give them the strategy and the tools to succeed. But you must first write down where you're going. I was in California speaking at an event. And I met these two amazing people that were at the event. They said, man, we need to go to dinner. I said, all right, let's do this. So we get in the Uber, go to dinner, and I walk in, and I remember it. Everybody was kind of dull. They were just like, hey, how's it going? I'm good. That was the energy. Like, oh, no, we can't do this. So I had my phone, Facebook Live. I'm at this amazing restaurant. We're going to go get this food. We're going to get these burgers. And we're like, Facebook Live the whole thing. We're getting pumped up. Like, yeah, how you guys doing? High five. Like, yeah. So we sit down, we get our food. It's this monster burger. Right? I'm like, oh my God, this burger's going to be so good. It's going to be amazing. And I look over, I don't want to look, but I keep looking in that direction. I'm really trying not to look. Average age of the group in the corner was like 95. Average age. As I go to take a bite of this big, juicy bacon, cheese, lettuce, onions falling off the, oh, it was amazing. One of them gets up and starts walking my way. So I get the burger, I'm like, oh, it's so good. I look over and he's standing right there. Black square glasses, a hat with gray hair coming out of it, and a cane. And he's standing there. He's like, are you the spokesman for this restaurant? No, sir, I'm actually not the spokesman. I'm a professional speaker. I inspire people everywhere I go. I'm an inspirational speaker. And he's like, well, I'm not inspired. And like walks away. Nothing else came out of this guy's mouth. I'm not inspired. And walked back to the table. As he gets back to the table, high fives the group. And they leave. I just got bullied by a 95-year-old man. Just then, the manager comes over. And he says, look, forget that guy. We were inspired. My staff was inspired and comped our entire meal. The moral is you never know who you're going to meet. You never know the one thing that I say, that you say to somebody, that you hear, changes your life. You never know who's in the crowd. You never know who's watching. You never know who you will meet that will become inspired. So as you leave here, write your letter. Look at your bank account for the last 30 days. Look at your calendar for the last 30 days. And think about how many relationships that you could have had today that could have prospered tomorrow. Thank you.
Yeah.
You guys have any questions at all whatsoever? Yes. So, wow. Okay, so what got me started? So I was a drill instructor from 2009 to 2013. 1 year prior, in 2008, I tried to take my life. Because I was battling alcoholism. We were getting divorced, her and I, literally. We were getting divorced. We were done. The year prior to that, in 2007, my house had burned down. A year prior to that, I was deployed and witnessed some very bad stuff. And it was like year after year after year of hardship. I was like, I'm done struggling. I don't want to do this anymore. So because I couldn't get away from the alcohol and I couldn't get it seemingly was me. I was the issue. I was the problem. Everything bad happens to me. I see everybody else doing amazing things in the world except for me. Drowning here, but I never said anything. So in 2008, December 24th, Christmas Eve, I put a gun in my mouth and I tried to take my life. Luckily, there were people around me, called me, came over to the house, and they stopped me from doing it. They said, man, you need some help, you know. And when I unloaded everything that I was feeling and everything that I was thinking, they were like, holy crap, you need to go get some help. I never really had therapy. I had therapy when I was a little kid just because of the things that I went through. I was raised in a domestic violence, alcohol-dominated household. So I had therapy after that was over. For 5 years, me, my older sister, and my mom were physically abused. I watched my mom smacked around. I watched her get drugged by her hair down the hallway. All kinds of horrific things. And I never said anything about it because as a man, I have to be strong. I can't cry. That's weakness. So I just buried it. And I tried to provide as much as I could. I remember 4th, 5th, and 6th grade, I was shoveling snow to pay for things, and I were hiding money from my ex-stepfather who would try to rummage through our rooms to find money for his drug habit. So I would hide money anywhere I could. So in 2009, I became a drill instructor. They said, man, you got a powerful testimony. You've been going through therapy, you've been going through all these things. You need to inspire people. I said, yeah, right. Like, you get to yell at them. I'm like, oh, cool, let's do that. Okay, that sounds great. So now, I'm a drill instructor for Air Force Basic Training, and I unlocked a passion I never knew existed. Unlocked the passion for speaking and training and transformation that I never knew existed. Fast forward 10 years, I speak everywhere. I have a popular radio show called Life Transformation Radio. It's an amazing show, not because it's mine, but it's just simply amazing. And that's all we talk about is the transformation. Where were you? What is your why? What is your transformational moment that set you on the path to what you're doing now? And how are you elevating lives around you? Bruce Buffer from the UFC was a guest on my show. Frank Shankowitz from the Make-A-Wish Foundation was on my show. Tom Ziegler, who is Zig Ziglar's son, was on my show. We talk about all kinds of powerful transformation. Not only that, completely changed the way that I think, feel, and believe about myself. By instituting systems like affirmations, morning meditation. Anybody heard of the Miracle Morning?
Yes.
I do the Miracle Morning, but I switch it to fit me. So the Miracle Morning is great, but I feel like I just needed something else, and maybe I wasn't doing it right, but apparently I was doing it right, according to what they said. Because I know Hal, Elrod, and like the whole group that I hang out with, like they're all like in the circle. But I had to add something to fit me. So that's what I do. For 10 minutes before I wake up, after I get up, really, I'm a lucid dreamer. So when I wake up, I wait about 10 minutes, I go to the bathroom, I'm just looking, I'm like, okay, what am I going to do today? And I'm running through my whole day. Who am I meeting? What am I doing? Before I get on stage, right? I walk up here, I was sitting at my laptop and I'm looking out. And I'm literally giving my talk in my head, just standing here talking to nobody. Because when you prime yourself, right? When you're priming, right? It's another system, it's another strategy. So before I get up on stage, I get up here and I feel it out. I see all the blind spots and I see, okay, somebody's sitting here, somebody's nodding, right? And I plan for failure. So that when failure comes, I have a system and a strategy to go through it, to go over it, to go around it, to go under it. I don't care what it is. So, super long answer, but that's how I got started. So, but yeah, it was a passion that was unlocked, and then I was like, well, I'll speak at this high school, I'll speak at this college, and I'll speak here, but now I speak all over the place. And I have a mentoring and coaching business that I do as well. What's that? Oh, thank you. Thank you. Any other questions? Yes?
What is your reason for homeschooling your son?
What is the reason for homeschooling my son? Do you want the parent answer or the civilian answer?
Both. Every single answer you can
So,
give me.
the parent answer is that I'm just super afraid that the public schools are not serving my child. And I just feel like, because he was bullied, that I could provide a safe environment for him. The civilian answer is that the public schools hasn't been changed in like 50 freaking years, and they're way behind. So not only is he homeschooled, but he does things during that homeschool that propelled him to be successful because he wasn't getting it in school. And so because schools want you to go get a job, to go make money for someone else's dreams, which I don't believe in, I want my son to be successful in his dreams and what he wants, not what the schools tell him to do and what the schools tell him to believe in. And college is a shame. Just saying. Just saying. Anybody want to guess what the student debt is right now? Anybody want to guess what the student debt is just in America? Just overall student debt. Anybody want to guess?
Trillion.
You're almost there, a little bit less. It's $980 billion. Student debt. Student debt. So, why would I want to go to college or have if he wants to go to college, that's awesome. Because I'm in the military, I have the GI Bill, so I can just give it to him and he can go to college for free. However, if you want to go to college, why would I go to college to learn something from someone else who is teaching the material that I can obviously Google or YouTube or spend $90,000 to get a 2 to 4 year degree, and I'm probably not even going to be happy doing it. I'm learning from someone who probably hasn't, like literally, if I could pay $90,000 and learn from someone who is a millionaire, totally worth the investment. If I pay $90,000 to a person who makes $90,000 a year,
Doesn't seem like a great investment because I'm going to get a piece of paper who says I got A's in school and then I can't even find a job. Did you know that 60% of college graduates are not using their degree that they spent all that money for? 60%. 60%. That's amazing. So what do? We go build businesses. So we do. We go build businesses. We go be entrepreneurs. We make a life for ourselves. So there's a couple schools in California that I know that they go to school, they have the regular subjects, but then they have a meditation time. And then there's other schools that are like strictly organic. Even the yoga rugs that they use is organic. Everything they eat is organic. Like, amazing schools. Like I thought about opening one of those schools. Like, heck yeah. And they don't segregate the kids. So there's first graders, second graders, third graders, fourth graders, fifth graders, like all grades and all ages of kids are learning at the same time. Because here's what kids do. You go to school, how hard is it to pay attention in class? Not because your mom's here, but
No, you need to be honest.
how is it hard to pay attention? Do you get bored sometimes? Oh yeah. So I don't know if you guys have kids or whatever, but you saw my kids. They weren't here 20 minutes and they were just like running around being, you know what I mean? They want your kid to stay in school for 8 hours at a desk. And then at a certain time, they cut out recess and everything else. What they found out, and I'm a science geek, what they found out was that they had these people take a test, right? And they MRI'd the brain, very little activity, taking a test, sitting there for 20 minutes, no activity. They then took another group and said, go outside for 20 minutes. Go outside for 20 minutes, go run around, go whatever you do, and then we're going to take a test. Guess who got the higher test scores? People who ran around for 20 minutes outside, who got air, who got oxygen to their brain, and then to the test. Each one of those kids had higher test scores. A 20-minute walk, a 20-minute jog, doing yoga, whatever it is, activity in your body, moving your brain, moving oxygen throughout your body has just been proven that you become smarter and you grow. So listen to podcasts while you're running. Watch YouTube videos. Whatever you want to learn, whatever you want to do, whatever you want to grow on, do that while exercising. I don't care if you walk to work one day or you go on the treadmill or whatever you do. Consume some kind of knowledge. Because that moment that you are moving and stretching and all that, you're actually growing your brain. Literally, science proves that you're actually growing your brain. So every time I'm on a treadmill or every time I'm running outside, I have some kind of a podcast, I'm listening to a TED Talk, or I'm doing something. And I rarely ever listen to music really anymore. On the road trip here, 13 hours, I was listening to the podcast. She hates it. I love it.
I do. I hate it.
I love it.
I make him put in headphones.
But once you get into this growth mindset, because growth mindset says I'm going to learn something. I'm going to grow. I'm not going to shy away from adversity. I'm going to welcome challenges. The fixed mindset says this is the way it's always been done. I'm not going to challenge the status quo. I'm not going to go into any adversity. I'm going to shy away from any stress. When things get hard, I'm going to run. It's a fight or flight. Growth mindset people build businesses and do extraordinary things in the world, while fixed-minded people make others' dreams happen. Ooh, write that down. I just got chills. Any other questions? But did that answer your question?
Absolutely.
You give a speaker some stage time, you go out here forever.
What is your biggest challenge?
My biggest challenge?
Doing homeschooling. Was one of your son or is it all of them?
Okay, so specifically, what we use is called All-in-One Homeschool. It's easy peasy, but it's literally, that's the website, All-in-One Homeschool. What's amazing about it is they have all of their curriculum, social studies, science, they have everything, and it's Christian-based.
So they learn the Bible.
Christian-based homeschool. So he actually watches YouTube videos on the Bible. He actually has to go to Bible apps to learn and pull scripture from those Bible apps. And so I walked away, I felt like $1 million. I walked up to the tablet, and I was like, hey man, what are you learning? He paused it and goes, wow. I'm like, what are you learning? He's like, why do we pay taxes? I was like, I love homeschool. Love homeschool. He's learning government taxes and the percentages that they take and why they take it and where it goes. All in the curriculum.
And guess what that class was? Math. To learn percentages in math, he was learning why we had to pay taxes with the percentage of the government, whatever money you make. I was like,
it's awesome.
Winning! Right? Because I don't know about y'all, but I had an economics class one semester in high school, my like 10th or 11th grade year, and I literally don't remember anything that was in that class. I couldn't tell you. Economics, stocks, money, cool, got it. But I really don't know. I don't know. Me in a chemistry class has had no effect on my success in the military or as a speaker. That chemistry class, I have no idea. But they learn the science and social studies and all that stuff. So all-in-one homeschool is what it's called.
Or easy peasy.
You go to the all-in-one. It's basically easy peasy. And they go, so it's based every day. They have the set curriculum. He gets it done in about 3 hours. 3 hours worth of work. So what I do is I make him do double the amount of work. So he does 2 days at a time. That's what he does. He combines day 1, day 2, day 3, day 4, 5, and 6. He just combines 2 days, and then that's his homework. So it takes about 5 or 6 hours to do. Then he has to read a book. So far, he's read The Richest Man in Babylon. He's read How to Win Friends and Influence People. He's read Think and Grow Rich. He's read, like, this is what he's reading. Not Go Dog Go and Clifford the Big Red Dog. So he already knows how to think and feel, which is what those books are designed to do. He's reading things that he's going to take well beyond his school years. And he loves it. Because he was bullied before, he didn't care, he never did his homework. He's like, I don't care. He's like me in school. I was forced to go to school. I would have loved to have been homeschooled. My daughter, however, likes to go to school. She's a people person, so she likes to go to school. Gavin is not. He's not a people person. He just wants to get his stuff done. He just cares about his stuff. And he's always like, and now he's the mindset like, how can I make money? I got this money. How can I make money? What can I do? He's like, I'm going to sell all my Legos, and this is the price. I'm like, how do you, it was so funny. He's like, I was like, how do you know what the price of all these Legos are? Like, how do you know what you want to sell it for? He's like, well, I know what it's worth. I was like, how do you know what it's worth? You didn't even buy half of those. He's like, I know the prices of them. I'm like, well, I think we should sell it for like, I don't know, $200. He's like, nah, like $300 or $400. I was like, no, I think you'll sell it faster at $200 because here's what I know. People will only buy things according to what they think they are worth. Good coaching moment. You, in this audience, will only buy monetary or thinking. You will only buy into what you think you're worth. If I tell you I have a $2,000 coaching program, $2,000. Good God. But if somebody goes, well, I got a $400 one, you'll get the same exact stuff, you're going to go with the cheaper one. Why? I don't know. Because you maybe buy things on cost. But people will only invest the amount of money that they think they are worth. So if you think you're worth $2,000, then you invest the $2,000. If you think you're only worth $400, then you'll only invest the $400. Think about that for a second. How many times have you not invested in something you're like, no, I don't think so. That's a lot of money. Ooh, I don't know. Look at the price tag instead of looking what you're actually worth. Because money is just paper, it's just a monetary thing. But your value needs to exceed the amount of money that you're willing to pay. I've spent thousands of dollars. My wife is getting on me about it. I've spent thousands on mentoring programs, coaching programs, online courses. I have emails I have yet to open. Welcome to the online course. I didn't even use it yet, but I paid the $1,000 for this online course. And it's still sitting in the email unopened. Anybody relate to that? No, I'm the only one? Everyone's like, oh, yep, right here, yep. It just happens. But the best investment that I ever made was for my kids. Because he is extremely happy. And I have to get out like, hey man, do your school, do this, do this, do this. You're not waking up at 9. He's like, but I'm tired. I'm like, don't stay up playing Xbox. Like, he still has the things that he has to do. He still has rules and chores and everything like that. And one of the things, he had to write a resume. I'm like, what? Yeah. Wow. But it's all Christian based. So when he's done with his, and it even has 4 languages in there. You can learn Spanish, German, French, and one other one. Has everything you need. Just saying. And I don't have an affiliate link with All-in-One Homeschool. I just think it's amazing.
So your daughter is
She's going to school, but she asked, she's like, what do you think about me being homeschooled? I'm like, whatever.
But she won't be happy being homeschooled
Yeah,
because
she wouldn't-
she's a people person, so she would not be happy being homeschooled. She has to be out playing with her friends
Yeah.
and doing activities with school than to be homeschooled.
Right.
She then sitting at home fighting with her brothers.
She'd rather go to school and play with her friends than actually do the homework.
Right.
That's her problem. His problem was they bullied me and he just shut down.
And
I'm not going to deal with this.
and the teachers nor the principal seen that he was getting bullied or did anything about it. So we pulled him completely out. I was like, we even asked the other kids in the walking down the hall and said, "Hey, are you getting bullied?" He's like, "Yeah." But then they said,
Oh,
"We
yeah.
don't have a bullying problem."
So we're having a meeting, right? Straight in the open. And the vice principal was like, "We do not have a bullying problem at this school." My son's like, "Yeah, you do." He's like, "No, we have a bullying campaign." I was like, "Gavin, what's the bullying campaign?" He's like, "Kids wear shirts that say no bullying allowed and they walk through the halls."
That's it.
So I pulled 3 kids, like, "Hey, come here. I was like, "Hey, have you ever been bullied at this school?" He's like, "Yeah, all the time." I was like, "Is there a bullying problem at this school?" Another kid's like, "Yeah." And then the one kid's like, "Well, I mean, if you're in the cool kid club," and I was like, "Cool, now you have cliques, got it." And the vice principal was like, "Well, that's just 3 kids." I was like, "That's 3 too many." Like,
3 out of 3.
right?
That was Brandon.
I was like, "We're batting 1,000."
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, that's not, and right then and there, I was like, "Yeah, I want my kid out. Give me all this stuff. I'm done. So he'll take his tests and do all, but it has quizzes and tests already in there. But in the state of North Carolina, you don't actually have to take an end of course test. But there is a graduation test they have to take, but you're not required to take a formal test in the state of North Carolina. What most people do is they take the California exam,
Get them and
which
bring
is
them
the
over
easiest.
here.
It's like
Because they're not supposed to be that far.
I'm literally, listen, the California
go.
test is the only homeschool test that you can order that is not timed and they can get help with it.
Really?
Yeah, I'll take that one. Like,
No kidding.
Comes with a block.
like, right? It comes. Yeah.
I wish they had that.
Comes with the answer key. You know, like, but all of the other tests, like, they're all timed. Some of them you have to have an actual examiner come in and deliver the tests. As a homeschool, you can actually just do it yourself.
Well, Northern California schools, it doesn't make sense.
Scary, right? Yeah.
So here's the forms again. If you're thinking about buying the raffles, here's the raffles.
Because on
The
North
last day for the
Carolina
raffles
homeschool
is
website,
Saturday.
It says what their curriculum is and what their requirements
Here's
are.
the
Like literally, it says right on there, like, you have to do this, you have to do this, you know, all this stuff.
benefit
And then
sponsor.
we just said, okay, well, we'll look at this all-in-one homeschool. And then it has videos and tutorials and everything and a whole web page of all the information that the parent has to have. But this, bam, cool. Register,
And here's to
picture
donate.
it, and then boom, you register for homeschool, and then there you go.
if you want to donate.
And yeah, he's a super happy kid now.